Have you ever wanted to learn how to cold call but never knew the exact steps? Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to start cold calling in wholesaling real estate as a beginner. What's up, guys? My name is Zach and I started wholesaling real estate at the age of 17, and I quit my bag boy job and made over $100,000 before I graduated high school with the power of bandit signs, sweat equity, and cold calling. I am on a mission in this channel to help you make over $100,000 per year in real estate wholesaling. And I started wholesaling real estate with bandit signs and cold calling. That's why in this video, I want to give you the exact blueprint on how to start cold calling and have massive success. I cracked the code as a teenager to start cold calling and making hundreds of thousands of dollars per year in profit with the power of my cold calling scripts. I'm so excited to break down exactly how to get going. So if you're brand new into cold calling in real estate wholesaling, this is the video for you. I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on exactly how to start cold calling in your business. So before we get into it, remember, you need to smash that like button and subscribe to get the most content from me. So let's get into it and let's learn some cold calling. So if you're brand new in real estate wholesaling, you might have heard someone say, you need to get into cold calling. Cold calling is one of the best places to find motivated sellers in real estate wholesaling. And it is true. I recommend cold calling is the most cost-efficient way to get a real estate wholesaling deal. The benefit of cold calling is it can be absolutely free if you put in the right effort for it. And in this guide, I'm going to show you exactly how to cold call for free. I'm going to show you exactly how to cold call if you have some money. Whatever budget you have, you can get into cold calling. I feel like cold calling is one of the best ways out there to build confidence in your real estate wholesaling, build the skills needed to close wholesaling deals, and lastly, have a very, very cost-efficient and a very efficient way of finding motivated sellers. So if you don't know what a motivated seller is, remember, a motivated seller is someone who wants to sell their property for cash for an array of reasons. Maybe they lost their job, maybe they're trying to relocate, maybe their house went on fire. Whatever happens, they are just trying to sell their property for a discount. They're willing, for the speed and convenience of a cash sale, sell the property. Now, here's not a really fun part about cold calling. Here's the truth. 1% of all of your calls are going to be people who actually want to sell their property for cash. Most people you talk to are not going to want to actually sell for cash. That is a big issue you're going to have in cold calling. It's a big misconception. So if you're in this video right now and you think that every single call you're going to get, people are just going to be knocking on your door to sell the property, they're not. We as real estate wholesalers are trying to talk to the 1% of people who actually want to sell without a realtor or without commissions, or they don't want to deal with the hassle of dealing with a realtor, and they just want the speed and convenience of a cash sale. If you're expecting cold calling to be the easiest thing ever, it's not. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of sweat. It takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of work and time. It's a very time-intensive thing to get going, but it's one of the best ways for no one who has any money in real estate wholesaling to go out there and get a deal. But for those who stick it out and keep calling and keep talking to the 1% of people, eventually someone in that 1%, you can get 2 or 3 of these deals a month. If you're cold calling by yourself for free, you'll get $10,000 to $20,000 paydays. That's right. When you get an actual motivated seller, you can make up to 20, 30, 40. Hey, I've made $100,000 on a real estate wholesaling deal once. There's unlimited amount of money and potential you can make with cold calling if you have zero money at all. It just takes time, hustle, and commitment. If you can stick to it, you can get it going. So let's break it down exactly step by step how to start cold calling. So step number 1 is finding the list. There's 2 main lists that I recommend when you get into cold calling, and those are paid lists and free lists. The free lists are probably the best ones you want to start getting into if you have absolutely no money at all. These are what I call the government lists. These are lists that are provided absolutely for free from the government. Not a lot of people know you can actually get these lists, and they're one of the best ones out there. And these are the lists that I started using in wholesaling real estate to get my first couple deals. So government lists are code violations, water shutoffs, fire damage properties, tax liens, probates, divorce leads. All of these leads you can get absolutely for free. So if you want to find the code violations, I absolutely love code violations because code violations have a special place in my heart because it was the first wholesaling real estate deal I did from a cold call. This was a code violation lead that I cold call that had made $25,000 on my first cold calling deal. It was absolutely crazy. I was 18 years old. It absolutely was one of the things that changed my life and showed me this cold calling stuff is legit. So if you want to get a code violation lead, all you got to do is go to your local city or county's code enforcement office and ask for all the open code violations. You might get asked what kind of code violations you want. So first of all, code violations are basically violations from the city if you're not following code on your property, either if your grass is too tall, there are structural issues on the property, sometimes if you have too many vehicles in the house, or it's just a general eyesore. Someone in your neighborhood is probably going to call code enforcement to go on and start giving you fines. These motivated sellers actually start getting $30, $40, even $50 a day fines on their property until they get the issue resolved. And those costs can accrue to $5, $10, even $15,000. And it's up to you as a real estate wholesaler to provide a solution for cash. Us wholesalers can do stuff that realtors can't or don't even know how to do. I had one example where I made that $25,000. I negotiated a code violation on that deal from a damaged pool from a $10,000 fine all the way to a $1,000 fine. And I saved that seller so much money that a realtor just couldn't do. Water shutoff list, you can easily get that from the utility department. Ask for all the water shutoff lists for your area. Tax lien, probates, and divorce lists, you can actually pull that from the county's clerk of the court. If you don't know how to, call your local county's clerk of the court. Let's say you live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Just go to the Broward County clerk of the court, call them and ask how you get that list, and they'll provide it for you. It's a little manual pulling that list, and there's plenty of videos I can provide for you. If you just go to freewholesaling.com, I share exactly how to pull that list, put that in Excel, and do it perfectly. But to save some time in this video, all you really got to do is learn how to put the person who has the code violation, the tax lien, in an Excel, put the address, and then from there we go on the next step. Now that's how you get the free list. If you want to get the paid list, you do services like Batch Leads or PropStream, aka listrei.com. These lists you actually have to pay for. And I don't recommend if you're brand new into wholesaling real estate to go out there and start pulling these lists. If you have some money, I do recommend it. But hey, if you got no money at all, no worries. You don't have to get this list. These are high equity lists, high equity vacant list, absentee owner lists, pre-probates, tired landlord lists. These are absolute killer lists you can start adding on to your cold calling lists. Quick bonus for you guys here. My actual favorite list to go cold call is not a free list or a paid list. It's kind of in between. It's called Driving for Dollars. And if you have some time, look up Driving for Dollars on this channel. I got a lot of tutorials on them. But Driving for Dollars is basically when you get behind your car and you start driving around and looking for distressed, ugly houses. If you put these ugly houses maybe on a Google spreadsheet or maybe notes on your phone or just taking a picture of the property and getting the address or jotting the address down, if you actually find these people's phone numbers, there's a huge probability that they might be motivated to sell the property for cash, and it's a great way to start getting your first wholesaling deals. Driving for Dollars in your city might be the solution for you killing it in your wholesaling business. Now that we compiled our list, I recommend you compile these lists in Google Sheets, Excel, whatever type of software you want. I recommend Google Sheets because it's free, it's saved on the cloud, and it's very easy to use. That's how I organize all my data. From there, what you want to do is put some spreadsheets, put some headers, put the first name, last name, put the address of the property, and you're on your way. So how we're going to find these people's phone numbers, there's two ways to do it. Now, the process of finding someone's phone number is called skip tracing. Skip tracing is a detective's term to go out there and find someone's whereabouts. And for us real estate wholesalers, for us to find their whereabouts, we got to get their phone number. And there's really two ways to do it. There's a free way and a paid way. Ultimately, you have to decide if you want to pay for this or not. I currently recommend if you got no money, you can do it for free. The website that you can go out there and find these people's phone numbers is called TruePeopleSearch.com. Again, that is TruePeopleSearch.com. TruePeopleSearch.com. All you really got to do is put the address in there and the phone number should pop up. I want you to copy these phone numbers in the Excel and then create a huge list of all the phone numbers connected to the names. It's a little time intensive. I do recommend you listen to some of the videos on this channel while doing it. It'll make the time go easier. You can learn wholesaling skills while creating your skip trace list. It's probably one of the most efficient ways to actually learn your wholesaling skills by watching my channel, watching the videos on my channel, and getting skip trace lists. Or if you got some money and you don't want to spend the time doing that, you can actually pay for services. I recommend smszach.com, batch leads. If you use code Zach, you get 50% off. Use whatever service you want for your skip tracing. There's a million of them out there. From about 10 to 15 cents per record, you can go buy people's phone numbers. It's a very good one to use. I recommend using phone numbers 1 through 3. Anything over that's probably really not worth it. Then from there, you're going to create your big Google Sheets or Excel list. Once you create your list, you're going to have the name, the address, and their phone number. Now this comes to the fun part. This is when we start making money. This is when we start making calls to change our lives. And when it comes to cold calling, there's really 2 ways to be doing this. Again, I'm going to repeat this so many times, but there's a free way and a paid way to do this. If you don't have any money and you want to do the free way, I recommend you use Google Voice. Google Voice is a single line dialer where you can just copy the phone number from Excel, paste it into Google Voice, and start calling. It's a little more tedious to do, but it gets the job done. And when you got no money, these tools are one of the best ones out there to start getting deals and start making your first $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in your first wholesaling deal. Start scaling up, getting a deal a month, making 6 figures a year, all the way to 7 figures. Guys, there's people that do this method for free that make over $500,000 per year, all for free, doing the Google Voice method. Or you can pay for it. And once you have the time, or if you have the money and you really want to invest it, it's probably worth it using a triple line dialer. The difference between a single line dialer and a triple line dialer is a triple line dialer will call at 3 times the rate, where you get 3 times more efficient on the calls. If you have a bigger list, it's very much worth it. If your list is under 1,000, I do not recommend it. But if you have a list of 3, 4, 5,000 plus, you should probably start investing in a dialer. They're only about 150 plus a month, and they are worth it. If you want a free trial of it, you can try ZachDialer.com. Mojo Dialer is a really good one. ZenCall is another really good one, but these are really good dialer services to use. Now we know exactly the way we do it. We got all the tools. We got the list. It's time to call. It's time to make some money. I'm excited for this one. It gets me so jazzed up because I remember the first time I started cold calling. I remember the first cold calling deal. I remember the 5th cold calling deal. I remember the 20th cold calling deal. Every cold calling deal I do, it brings me closer to financial freedom, and it makes me so excited. That's why I love cold calling. I want to help you learn cold calling, and it gets me pumped up. That's why on this channel, I'll do 2-hour cold calling sessions just because I love this business so much. I'll talk to motivated sellers. I'll sell them on this. Guys, remember, I do live cold calling on this channel. I don't do it every week, but as many times as possible, I want to cold call in front of you to show you don't have to be an expert cold calling. I am not a slick sales cold calling person, but I can make hundreds of thousands of dollars cold calling just by myself if I wanted to, because of one word: consistency. If you want to see me live cold calling, look on this channel. There's plenty of them. Do live cold calling, Zach in. There's so many great ones. It's a really fun one. I just love this business. So the next step is to start calling. And you might be asking, Zach, whoa, what do I say? What are the words to say? How do I actually talk to these sellers? Now, don't fret. Don't be fearful. I know a lot of you guys start getting nervous when it's time to actually start the call, click the call, and to get things going. But here's the cool part. You only have to ask truly like 2 questions. 2 questions is all you have to ask for you to start making tens of thousands of dollars to change your life. All you got to do, I'm going to repeat this again. Ask 2 questions. You ask these 2 questions, you can absolutely change your financial destiny forever. Now, what are these 2 questions? You're going to get mad at me. You're going to click that dislike button like instantly when you hear it, but it's super simple. Question number 1, you're going to click copy or paste, or you're going to use the dialer and have the dialer go for you. When someone answers, say hello. You might freeze up a little, but remember, write these questions down on a script and you'll get it going. This is the question I want you to ask. Number 1, hey, is this the owner of 123 Main Street? ? The reason why you want to ask if they are the owners, you don't want to make sure you're not getting the wrong person, or you want to waste the second question. So just making sure you're actually talking to the real owner of the prop. If they are the owner, they'll say yes. Boom, we're halfway there. And the next one is the last question we really got to ask. And that is, hey, are you interested in selling your property? That's all you got to ask. That is how simple this cold calling process is. That is it. It's a little tedious, but it's not hard. Cold calling is not difficult. It's not a difficult thing to do. That's all you have to ask. From there, if you get a no, hey, on the next one, we're going to keep calling. But if you get a yes, Then we can start getting in the qualifying process to see if that person is actually a motivated seller. Is this a person that I can actually meet and get a wholesaling deal from or not? It might be kind of confusing to see if someone's qualified or not, but hey, I got the answers for you. The way to find out if someone's motivated or not is just to ask them the 4 basic pillars of wholesaling. Get your notepads out, and the 4 pillars of wholesaling is to see if someone is a motivated seller or not. Number 1 is asking for their motivation. Their motivation could be a wide array of things, but basically all you got to ask is, hey, why are you interested in selling your property? If they give you a good reason or a decent reason, then that's good. Number 2 here is you want to ask for the condition of the property. You want to see how the condition is. How's the roof? How's the basement? How's the AC? Is the kitchen updated? You just want to get basic questions about the property. Number 3, here's the time frame. When are they actually looking to sell the property? Is this something within the next 6 months they want to sell? Is this something within the next month, the next week, the next year? It's very important. If someone wants to sell within a 3-month time frame, they're probably a motivated seller. And lastly is their price. Don't get too caught up on the price, but we want to see what general ballpark they want to sell the property for. Now we're going to collect this information. We're going to tell the seller, let me look at everything and see if this is the right fit for me. Is this the right number to call you back at? They say yes, boom, we got it. Say, have a nice day. Is it okay if I give you a call back tomorrow? And then we'll call them. If they say no, remember, ask them if they have any other properties they're interested in selling. It's always worth asking, and then keep calling from there. Once we keep going, we're going to get all the collections of people who are interested in selling. We're going to call them again. We're going to go ask to see them at the property. We're going to go get a contract. We're going to get that signed. We're going to sell to a cash buyer. We're going to get checks for $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000, and boom, we're making our way with wholesaling, and we're changing our financial future forever. That's what I want to do on this channel. Now, this video is not going to break down the entire wholesaling process, but if you want a free course on actually how to learn the wholesaling process from A to Z, start to finish, no gimmicks. I'm not here to sell you on anything. There's no funnel out here to try to sell you and make a huge profit on you. Guys, I'm just trying to teach you this whole process for free. This wholesaling business has actually blessed my life so much. I wanted to give a course on actually how to do it for free because I've never seen a free course and I knew it would change my life. So if you go to freewholesaling.com, it explains the whole wholesaling process, how to pull the lists, how to talk to sellers, recorded calls I actually had with actual wholesaling deals, me going on deals, showing you the exact process from A to Z. Make sure you go to freewholesaling.com. Now, the last thing I really want to break down here is what's the difference between a successful cold caller when they're starting out and a person who is not successful cold calling starting out. And it really breaks down to a few number of things. Number 1 here is consistency. I've seen people who create schedules with their cold calling and actually consistently cold call at the same time, the same days of the week. They're the ones who make the most money in real estate wholesaling. Quick example, I recommend the best time for you to cold call is actually Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. If you cold call during these times, you will have success. I'm telling you, if you can cold call 25 hours a week from 2 to 7 p.m., that's the best time I found cold calling where I can get in front of the most people answering their phones. You will be lined up to have the maximal amount of success possible. That's the time that I actually cold call when I started out in wholesaling, 2 to 7 p.m., Monday through Friday. I did that for a year straight and made over $100,000 in wholesaling profits on top of doing bandit signs and other types of marketing. Guys, we have our VAs doing this and it has given us so much success in our business. 2 to 7 p.m., that is the time to cold call. But that is the truth. Consistency is key. If you can't do 2 to 7 p.m., I recommend you find a time that works really well for you. Just create a schedule. Make sure you're cold calling at least 2 to 3 hours a day. Please, if you do this Monday through Friday, I'm telling you, keep consistently doing it. You will consistently get deals if you consistently cold call, and you will consistently make money. That's as simple as this business is. Next here is the difference between the ones who actually make money and the ones who don't in this business when it comes to cold calling is taking action. The people that get over their fears and go out there and actually click the call button. Clicking the call button is the hardest part. Asking the 2 questions is easy. Next here is to consistently, do you hear it? I keep saying the word consistently. Consistency. But if you consistently get new leads coming in, new generations, you keep pulling the new probates, the new code violations, the new water shutoffs, keep drawing for dollars, you consistently keep pulling in new lists, you will consistently get more deals. And remember, a lot of you might be fearful, hey, what if someone curses at me over the phone or says something mean or a lawyer says they're going to sue me? Guys, cold calling for real estate wholesaling is TCPA compliant. Now, guys, I'm not a lawyer, financial advisor, CPA, or any of that stuff. But to the laws and to the best extent from other wholesalers, wholesalers aren't getting sued for cold calling. We are not selling anything. We are just asking people if they're looking to sell a property and they're interested in selling it. We're not trying to sell them on anything. Guys, we are TCPA compliant. If you cold call from 2 to 7 p.m., you should be good. Remember, follow your states and local guidelines, but cold calling is legal. Guys, politicians cold call. They're the ones who make the laws. If they cold call, it's legal to cold call, guys. And those politicians are going out there asking for money. You're not doing that. And that's it. That is the entire cold calling process. It is very simple. All you got to do is get a list, skip trace it, put in an Excel all clean, get a dialer, get Google Voice that's free, or ZachDialer.com or Mojo or ZenCall, whatever dialer you want. Start dialing, find these people's phone numbers and start dialing. Ask the 2 questions. Are you the owner of this property? And are you interested in selling? If they are, get the 4 questions, collect all the information, call them tomorrow, and get it going, guys. That's it. Cold calling has changed my life forever in real estate wholesaling, and I know it can change your life too. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember, please smash that like button and subscribe. Check out freewholesaling.com. It's a free course. It teaches you everything about wholesaling. That's the end of the funnel there for you. I just want to help you guys out in wholesaling. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. I hope to see you soon. Thank you.